I am over on the east side of the Des Moines Metro today. I was looking back through my old YouTube videos and I realized I don't really get over here much. Or I live in the west side in Urbandale. We just moved actually, my wife and I did. So naturally I am biased towards over there. But I will say the east side has a lot going for it, specifically Pleasant Hill. Over the Top ice cream is right behind me. They have what I would say to be the best coffee ice cream in the Des Moines Metro. They rank very high in my ice cream power rankings. But I figured we would start here today because we are going to be looking at new construction homes in the 400,000. So we're going to be showing you what you can buy in the Des Moines Metro in new construction for around 400,000. And there's not a ton in Pleasant Hill itself. They have a lot more in the townhome arena, lower priced townhomes close to like 250, but we're going to look in Altoona, Bondurant, east side of Des Moines, and then also show you what those exact same models sell for in other parts of the metro. All right, the first house we are going to look at today is in Altoona. On the southern side of Altoona specifically, there's a whole big new construction development going on out here. If you look at a map of all the new construction in the Des Moines Metro, you'll see we're growing outward. Obviously, obvious statement because we don't have a ton of room to grow inward. This home here is built by D.R. Horton, and D.R. Horton, Mr. Horton, it's not his real name, that's just what I like to call their workers. They said I could absolutely show this on video on YouTube, but that I wasn't allowed to say the specific price that they were asking for it. So we'll just say it's anywhere between 370 and 380,000. They do something interesting about D.R. Horton is they change their prices quite a bit just with the market. Sorry about that. Had to get my key out of the lockbox. So anyways, D.R. Horton requested that I do not share the exact price of these homes as they change them quite a bit. They fluctuate with the market. It's just a fascinating thing that this builder does that not a ton of other builders in the area do. Enough talking about that for now. I'm just going to turn the camera around, give you a quick tour of this home. So this is the Hamilton plan, built by D.R. Horton. It is a 4-bed, 3-bath home. It's a ranch. It has 3 beds on the main level. They do have a sister floor plan to this called the Harmony, which has 2 beds on the main level and 2 beds down in the basement. I find that a lot of younger families especially, that floor plan doesn't work for them because then their kids have to live in the basement apart from the parents. Having the 3 bedrooms upstairs is really advantageous for resale in my opinion. But it's got an open floor plan, quartz countertops, walk-in pantry. This one is 1,500 square feet above ground. So it does have a finished basement with an additional bed and bath down there. And there are about 700 square feet of finished space in the basement. So these eastern suburbs, I'm in Altoona right now, they are growing, right? They're just not growing nearly as fast as the western and northern suburbs are. So like Waukee, Adel, they're just growing insanely fast right now. Altoona, Bondurant, Pleasant Hill, on the other hand, they're smaller. They just don't have the development going on. But anyways, all that to say, it seems like you get more house for your dollar here in Altoona, Bondurant, Pleasant Hill than you do in the rest of Des Moines, but it's actually pretty similar. So this floor plan, the Hamilton Ranch by D.R. Horton with 3 bedrooms up, 1 bedroom downstairs. It's a ranch. It's got 2,200 finished square feet. Really nice finishes. I think D.R. Horton honestly does a great job on their homes. But this one is listed in the high 300s. If you go to Waukee, Adel, Ankeny, you'll find the same exact floor plan for more, and I'm talking like anywhere from like $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 more, which sounds like a lot of money when you actually work that into your monthly payments. It doesn't end up being a ton, but still more that you have to pay off over the life of the loan. We'll talk about that another time. But anyways, you're going to end up paying more for this same house in those suburbs, whereas like Bondurant, which is just like 10 minutes north of here, and Norwalk, prices are very similar. And then if you take this same house and you move it 5 minutes west to the east side of Des Moines, you're going to see it's about $10,000 cheaper than it is out here in Altoona. $400,000 will get you for a ranch in the southern part of Altoona. And we are actually a bit under 400,000 for this one. Let's go check out a two-story. Okay, we are headed up to Bondurant now. Forgot to mention when we were at that ranch, if you are spending around 400,000 on a new construction home, really anywhere in the metro, unless you're going with something a little bit like higher end, fancier finishes, you're going to be getting a 3-car garage. That's what that price point is going to get you. Right now, we are headed from Altoona to Bondurant. Bondurant is, I just said this, it's a small community, similar size to Altoona. It's about 15 minutes north. It's closer to Ankeny, making it a popular place for people who work, live, and play in Ankeny without quite having the Ankeny price tag. And it gets up closer towards Ames, northern parts of the metro as well. Altoona, which I'm just leaving right now. No, this isn't the topic of today's video, but Altoona has got a fantastic outlet mall. They've got Adventureland, which is a theme park that my nephews just absolutely love. And then they've got Prairie Meadows, which is a pretty impressive, or just large casino operation, and they have, I don't know what they're called, racetracks for horses, probably just a horse racetrack. They have one of those there too. So there's quite a bit to do in Altoona, and it's got a nice smaller town feel to it. But yeah, we'll head up to Bondurant. We'll show you a 2-story home up there in this $400,000 price point, built by Jerry's Homes, which is another very large builder in the Des Moines area, and then we will call it a day. Something I should touch on too, since we're talking so much about new construction and price today, even though, like D.R. Horton, they didn't want me mentioning specific dollar amounts on their houses because they change a lot. With the new construction market in Des Moines right now, our market is pretty saturated with new construction, meaning it's much more of a buyer's market when you're looking at brand new spec homes than if you're looking at resale homes. So builders tend to be, just on an anecdotal basis, more willing to negotiate with you than sellers of well cared for resale homes are. Now, builders aren't always going to just drop their price if you offer them $10,000 less than asking price. So it really can bring down the whole value that a builder is getting out of a neighborhood. I hope I'm not confusing you. I hope this is making sense. But what you can do with new construction right now, especially this time of year, is you can negotiate pretty confidently, pretty successfully for closing costs, for appliances, for other features of the home to be upgraded at no additional cost to you. Builders tend to be much more willing to work with you on that than they would be to, say, drop the price on that home we were just in by $10,000, $15,000. Okay, so now we are on the northwest side of Bondurant in a new development up here. There's some homes that have been completed for a little while, as well as a lot of homes still being built. The house we're going to take a look at is a 2-story built by Jerry's Homes. They've been a home builder in Des Moines since the 1950s, I believe. And this home it's 3 beds total, 2.5 baths. It's got an unfinished basement, and it's got about 1,800 square feet above ground with an additional 800 that you could finish in the basement. Has daylight windows too, so it's a little bit above grade, which is very nice. Makes the basement feel much more livable. Let's go check it out. Something I really respect about Jerry's Homes is they still do gas fireplaces in their spec homes. That is not super common anymore. Most of the time builders like to do electric, and it drives me nuts. Okay, so depending on the builder and on the area like we saw today, you can get quite a bit of house around the Des Moines Metro. This specific home, this floor plan is the Lolo by Jerry's Homes, and the one we're in right now on the northwest side of Bondurant is $414,000. It's what it's listed at with an unfinished basement. And they have got this plan in quite a few other of the suburbs around Des Moines. Now, the rest of these that I'm going to mention only have egress windows in the basement. So when we went downstairs and it was all bright, that was because the windows were above grade. Egress windows, like the first home we looked at, are below grade. You don't get as much natural light down there. But like in Waukee, for example, this floor plan with egress windows is $410,000. So if it had daylight windows, it'd be more expensive than this one here in Bondurant. In Altoona, it's $400,000 with egress windows, very comparable. In Ankeny, it is $385,000, which I actually found pretty surprising because typically Ankeny, you see a higher price point. And then in Norwalk, you can get this floor plan with an egress window, not daylight, for $370,000. So it's quite a bit more affordable down there. Your suburb is going to have a big impact on how much the home is and how much house you can get for the price. And so is the specific neighborhood within the suburb. So it's not exactly a perfect, like, oh, Norwalk is always cheaper or more expensive than Bondurant. But if you have any questions about what we went over today, if you are needing help searching for a home in Des Moines, moving to here, I've had the privilege of working with a lot of people who have found me through my YouTube channel. That's only reason I make these videos. I hate recording myself. I feel like I say that every video, but it is really sweet to get to meet people, help them purchase a home, and represent them and advocate for them in that process. So if there is anything I can do for you, if you have any questions, if it's still like super early on in your move and you're just contemplating it, or if you're ready to come and start touring houses, give me a call, shoot me a text. I'll put my number up on the screen and would love to hear from you. If you have a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel, that also helps me out a ton. I'll see you guys in the next video.